everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon and this is a channel that is dedicated to all things related to narcissism. I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on all types of topics related to narcissism. So if you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. I would really appreciate it if you gave the video a thumbs up. It's a free way you can help me out, and definitely don't forget to leave a comment because I like to read what you have to say. So before I get into today's video, which is going to be, does a narcissist know what they're doing when they hurt you? I'm going to fill you in on what's going on in terms of my divorce. For those of you that watch my channel on a regular basis, you know that on Friday, that's the day I give you an update on where I stand in divorcing my narcissistic ex. Some things have changed since I first started doing these Friday updates. Right now, on the advice of my attorney, what I'm doing is I am taking my kids and I'm going to leave the state as soon as possible and then file for divorce. Now, unfortunately, as soon as possible is not tomorrow. It's likely December. So now, thankfully, it is October, so I did make it into a new month, but I still have a ways to go, and that is incredibly stressful. You know, on one hand, December's not that far away when it's October already, but on the other hand, when you're in fear every single day, December seems a long ways away. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. The reality is that there are some things I need to do on my end, and there are some things that has to happen on Joe's end as well. We're both trying to get those things done, but until they're done, you know, I can't leave yet. One of the things that I have to do that is particularly traumatizing to me is I have to get rid of my backyard chickens. I've mentioned on my channel before that I have 6 backyard chickens. Getting rid of any of my animals is actually one of my worst nightmares. I actually had a little bit of freak out over this on Monday. I just didn't have a good week. On Sunday, I mentioned on Wednesday's video that somebody at church sent out a mass email saying some of the things that I'm going through. This elderly woman had asked me if she could pray for me, and I told her some things about my situation, and she sent it out in a mass email. Apparently, she wanted people to pray for me, but what it did was leave me incredibly vulnerable and at risk. When I tell people that my ex is not a safe person, that's no joke. So she left me in a really bad position. It's been bothering me all week. I've had a couple of migraines this week. It's just been horrible. My daughter had a horrible panic attack. She thought she saw her father's car and she started shaking uncontrollably. She had sporadic spasm in her arm for 24 hours. Narcissists destroy their families. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in today's video in a minute. I'm just going to get back to the chickens right now. So Joe told me, and I believe him, that I can bring the chickens. He wants me to bring the chickens. Please bring the chickens. Like, nobody gets left behind. And I believe him. I do. The reality, though, is that I'm trying to make decisions that are best for 6 people. Joe and I both have 2 kids, and we're trying to bring our family together. We're trying to give our kids a stable environment. We're trying to start our life together. We're getting 6 people together, and I know, we both know, there's going to be an adjustment, and I'm trying to make that as easy as possible. And bringing 6 birds into the picture just doesn't seem right. It really doesn't. That's what's best for me. That's not what's best for anybody else. But there is going to come a day when I'm going to have to take these birds that I've hand-raised since they were 1 day old. I mean, really. I've had these birds since they were 1 day old. 2 of them I've had since 2015. These birds know me. They have a schedule with me. I'm going to have to pick up these birds that I love, put them in my car, drive them somewhere, and come home without them. That's going to rip my heart out. But I have to do. It's not hard for me to do what's best for the 4 kids, but it is hard for me to do this. So ultimately, I have to do what I have to do, but it's painful. And this is what I want to talk about today. Narcissists know what they're doing. When they cause you pain, they don't care, truly. Oftentimes, when people hear about narcissism, they first learn about it. They find out that their spouse or partner, whoever, has narcissistic personality disorder or high traits of narcissism. It's almost like a positive thing because you've been living in this hell for so long and you don't know what's going on. You're so confused. Why is this person acting this way? Why would they be this way? Then you find out, geez, there's a name for it. They actually have a real issue. They have a personality disorder, and you go about learning as much as possible about it. The reality, though, is that narcissism is not like other illnesses. It is this giant tornado ripping through your family, ripping your life apart. Nobody is left unscathed. And when I say nobody, I don't just mean you, your kids, your animals. Everybody is affected by this person's narcissism. It is a soul destroyer. So just because you have a name for it doesn't mean that it's going to get better. I'll tell you, it isn't going to get better. And narcissists know exactly what they're doing. People who don't have narcissism, oftentimes when you first find out about it, you believe, well, this person can't possibly know. I'll have to tell them. I'll fill them in. I'll help them. We'll get them therapy. We'll do whatever. You believe it because if it was anything else, if it was you, you would want to get better. You would want to heal. You wouldn't want to be somebody that destroyed your family. Oh my gosh. But for a narcissist, it's important to understand who they really are, truly. Narcissist, I mean, really, you can break down narcissism, the problem narcissism has on other people in this way. They don't have a conscience and they don't have any empathy. So they don't feel remorse. They don't feel guilt. They do whatever they want. They don't feel love, that you don't matter. I mean, truly, for anybody who's a parent, their children don't matter. If somebody can ignore their own children, if somebody can have children not care about them, I mean, what else do you need to know? Truly, that's somebody who is extremely, extremely disordered. Nobody escapes life with a narcissist without trauma. Your children, you are going to feel psychological trauma, PTSD. I mean, I told you my daughter had that panic attack. That's trauma from her father, the person that's supposed to love her, the person that's supposed to take care of her. I've mentioned in other videos that my ex loves to give a silent treatment. He truly is the king of the silent treatments. I have been given silent treatments by him for 7 months one time. He knew exactly what he was doing, but you want to know what my mind did? My traumatized mind? I believed he must not know. He must not know how painful it is. And I'm embarrassed to tell you this, but this is the truth. I begged him to talk to me. I begged him. Did he listen? No. He heard me. He saw my tears. He knew the whole time what he was doing. I've actually had people comment to me on the channel. They send me emails and in the comments because I've mentioned that I don't believe my ex cheated on me. People don't believe me. They think that either I'm outright lying or that more likely I can't face it. I just can't accept that he cheated on me. I'm telling you right now, I could accept that he cheated on me. It would not destroy me at all. It would bother me a little bit because I don't believe that he has, and it would just be another thing, like, oh my gosh, here's another thing he was lying to me about. But I wouldn't be ripped out. I would not be ripped up about I wouldn't be ripped up about it, and I would tell you. If I knew or I believed he cheated on me, I would tell you. I don't believe he has. But let's just assume a couple of things. First, let's assume that he didn't. So assume he didn't. That means that he's the rare narcissist who hasn't cheated on their spouse, their significant other. That means that this is a common thing that they do. They know what they're doing. You can't cheat on somebody and not understand what you're doing. You can't do this. And I mean, it's ridiculous. You're lying to this other person. You know exactly what you're doing. It's not possible for you to cheat and not know. So here's my ex. He's so rare that he didn't do that it's unbelievable. People know this. Now let's say that he did cheat on me. So if he's cheating on me, if he was cheating on me, he hid it from me. He was purposely lying. That's why I don't know. Why would he lie if he didn't know it was wrong, if he wasn't purposely trying to hide these things? That's what the narcissist is doing. My ex, now here are some things I do know he did. Twice he charged up $100,000 in credit cards. He didn't do that unknowing. Every single dollar. Like, I woke up one day and found out about this. This was unknowing to me. That did happen to me. That didn't happen to him. Every single dollar he charged, he knew. He knew about it, and he kept it hidden every single day. He pretended like he was this great guy. He slept next to me with no problem, no guilt, no remorse. He stole money from my kids. He didn't care. He came home from work after stealing money from the kids and acted like nothing happened. That's a narcissist. That's the person that you're with. When I think about that sometimes, it just blows my mind that somebody can be this evil, this cruel, this malicious. This is who the person is. They know. It's almost like if they didn't know, you can give them an excuse. You can forgive them. You can, move forward. Well, they didn't know. How could they know? I'm telling you, as painful as it is to accept, they know. My ex, I've mentioned before also, he drove drunk with my kids. He knew what he was doing. It's not possible that you don't know. All the things that the narcissist has done, my narcissist, your narcissist, the things that they have done that have hurt you have been intentional. They know. They just don't care. If we bring it back to who a narcissist is, what their real problem is. The real problem for us is that they don't have a conscience. So they can do all these things and not feel guilty. It doesn't bother them. They don't feel remorse. That's just the problem. Or these are people that don't have the ability to feel love. Think about your ideal relationship. All right, so if I'm talking about my ideal relationship, this is a relationship where my partner and I have a mutual love for each other. So this is going in both directions. There's compassion in both directions. We share dreams. We have respect both directions. We have the same values. That's a relationship. Now, I'll tell you something about my relationship with Joe. Joe is my best friend. So we were best friends for a long time. We've been best friends almost immediately since we met. We've shared so many things with each other. So Joe knows things about me. I know things about him. I would never betray him. Think about a narcissist. Are you able to have a relationship like that with a narcissist where they don't betray you? If Joe told me something in confidence and I blurted it out, I decided to talk about it on the channel, I know what I'm doing. If I talk about it on Facebook or if I tell some people, I know what I am doing. Exactly the same thing with Joe. He knows some sensitive information about me. I don't want him telling people. What if he did? He would know. What's he going to say? Oh, I didn't know. I forgot. I forgot that was private information. Of course not. But we have a love for each other. That love supersedes everything. The other thing about a narcissist as well is you have to remember they don't have this thing called object constancy. So a narcissist, first of all, they can't love you anyways, but they are able to have feelings for you occasionally. So they can have warm feelings for you. However, the warm feelings they have for you are not consistent. So I love Joe always. No matter what's happening, I still love him. If I was mad at him, I still love him. For a narcissist, if they get upset with you, they don't think about the fact that they love you. Now they hate you. Everything's right in that moment. So they can't love you universally. It can only be when things are going okay and they're having these warm feelings for you. They don't have true, genuine love. This is why they have the smear campaign. This is why they're able to do that. Because when you're not with them, they're able to be malicious. They're able to do whatever they want to do. And remember, then they don't feel the remorse. They don't feel guilt. If you tell a narcissist a secret, you can be sure that other people know it. That's like a benefit. It's kind of weird. I mentioned that I had my ex would give me the silent treatments all the time. That caused me to not tell him anything because he would not talk to me. So there were times I tried to talk to him. I'd be upset about something and he literally would shut me out. He did not do conversation. That led to me over time telling him absolutely nothing. So there's no smear campaign that he can do because there's nothing he knows. He has no dirt on me because he wouldn't talk to me. So that does, so in a weird way, that's benefited me. But I know for so many people, they're dealing with that on a regular basis. It destroys them. It destroys them. I was traumatized when I told you what happened with that woman at the church when she was telling people. A narcissist does that on a grand scale. This is affecting every single person in your life. They do these things intentionally, truly. I know it's so painful to understand this. I really do. I feel this way too. But what I try to do on my channel is help people and be real so that you understand the reality of your life with a narcissist. Because the reality is that there's nothing you can't overcome if you know who your enemies are. You need to understand who your enemy is, and the enemy is the narcissist. They're going to stand in the way of everything in your life. They're going to stand in the way of your children's future, your happiness, your life, the fulfillment of your dreams. The only thing really that you can do if you're with a narcissist is get out. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm so grateful for everybody watching my channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate that. Joe and I are going to make a video this weekend, which will release on Monday, so stay tuned for that. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. God bless.